pounds of beef. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of salt to this. I use this kosher salt for most of my cooking. So we're going to put in 2 tablespoons. And then we need pepper, so I'm just going to give it a good grind of fresh pepper. I love pepper, so I never have quite enough. Italian seasoning, going to give it a good shake, like maybe a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And I always use this garlic plus for things, most dishes I use. I'm just going to put a little bit of that in. And we have, right here, we have onion. So this is 2 small onion that I'm using. And I used, I think, 4 cloves of garlic minced. I like minced garlic. You can do a little less if you feel you want to. So I'm just going to kind of mix this up a little bit in here. Now I have a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm going to put that in. All right. See, it's very simple. You just mix all this up. And then I have 1 egg in here. Blend it with 1 cup of milk. I'm going to add that to the meatloaf. And then mix it all together with a spoon. But I gotta tell you, for me, I like to mix things with my hands. I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna mix all of this in so that the milk and the breadcrumbs and the onions and garlic all get mixed through really well. Because you want to make sure that the hamburger meat is taking all of this in. And if you feel the need for a little more breadcrumbs, you can. I feel the need for a little more breadcrumbs in this. So I'm going to just mince my ends. And I'm going to add another ½ cup of breadcrumbs that I have here. I feel like it's a little too liquidy. So ½ cup more of breadcrumbs. And this now I'll just mix with a spoon so you can see the texture in here. So that's all there is to it. It's a very simple recipe, but it is very delicious. I find with hamburger meat, you really got to season it up well, and especially with the salt. I'm going to put a little bit of salt in here. So 2 tablespoons. I didn't quite put 2 tablespoons in the first time around. So this is it. This is all mixed up. Everything's incorporated nicely. Like, I like the texture. So to show you, see, I like this texture. It's not too moist, but it's just actually perfect. So like I said earlier, if you mix it with your egg and milk and you feel like, oh, it's just a little too wet, just add a little more breadcrumbs to it. That's all that's needed. So as you're making these recipes, like I said, you can tweak it. It's the same with your garlic and onion. Like, I like a lot of garlic. So now we have our pan here. Made a little bit of a mess. I shall wipe that up. So right here we have the loaf pan. So I'm going to take this out, put it in the loaf pan, and then we are going to make our sauce that goes on top. But I'll give you a little secret with this loaf pan. This is something I do because I like getting any. Now, this is lean ground beef, and I only make it with lean ground beef. lean or extra lean, even if you're being really fussy with it. But even with the lean ground beef, you do get some grease. So what I normally do, this is baked at 350 degrees. So I'm going to put this in on a 350 degree oven. It bakes for about an hour and 10 minutes. And so there you have it. This is the meatloaf ready to go in the oven. I'm going to put this in the oven right now, and then we're going to make up our sauce. And then we have our sauce. So here, with the sauce, I've doubled the recipe for the sauce because I like to have some extra. So I've done like a full cup of ketchup. Usually it calls for a half a cup. I've done a full cup of ketchup in there. So we're going to put that in. So here's the ketchup. A cup of ketchup. And we need 1 cup of brown sugar. Rinse this out. Because it's very simple. You could even make this meatloaf hot. You know, if you're a working mom. And I think I just got about 1 cup of brown sugar left in that pack. Perfect. Okay, so 1 cup of brown sugar. You could make this up the night before and put it in the fridge and then take it out when you get home from work and do it. Or you could even maybe bake it and put it back in and reheat it the day you're doing dinner. So here's the brown sugar and the ketchup. So to that we need 1 teaspoon of prepared mustard. So that's 2 teaspoons because I'm doubling the recipe. So, oops, I need to shake this up. So 2 teaspoons of prepared mustard, that's 1. This is 2. And 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. This is for single, if you're doing it single. But I'm doing it double, so 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire. That's 1. And this is 2. So now we're going to mix all of this up. There we go. So this is quite a bit of sauce. This kind of whisk always blends things a whole lot better. You don't want any lumps in your brown sugar. So you want to make sure you take those lumps out. But this is basically it. So you see, it's a lovely taste with the ketchup, mustard, and the Worcestershire. Now, I mean, if you wanted to, you could add a little bit of maple syrup to this, or honey. If you wanted a little, you know, the taste of the maple syrup on it. I think it's fine with just the brown sugar. It certainly gives it enough sweetness. So now, this is your sauce. So what I would do is once the meatloaf is in for about 20-25 minutes, I will drain whatever grease off of it. And then I will put half of this on, not the whole thing, half of it, and let it go down around the sides. And then the rest of it, I'll put it on in a little saucepan and warm it so that I can serve it alongside the meatloaf when the meatloaf is finished. So that's all there is to it, folks. It's very simple, very easy recipe. Like I said earlier, you could even make this up the night before, make your sauce up, put everything back in the fridge, and then the next day, especially if you're somebody with children and you're rushing out to do different activities after dinner with them. And it makes for a really nice meal. With this, myself personally, I do a little pot of mashed potato as a side. And I do vegetables, so I may do green beans and cauliflower, or I could do broccoli and cauliflower. And if you want a salad, you can serve a salad with it. So that's all there is to it. It's very simple, very easy. And I hopefully you like it. And please let me know in the comments, if you like this video, Please subscribe so that you can get more of my videos as they become available. This will be on my website as well with full recipe. So until the next one, bye for now.